Hey, welcome everybody to Lunch and Learn. I think you're going to love today's topic. It's all about becoming a strong and fantastic finisher. So do you ever find yourself either procrastinating and not getting things done and maybe telling yourself, I work under pressure. I love waiting till the end. Or maybe you are somebody who starts a lot of projects, but they don't seem to get finished. Like your garage organization project is 2/3 done, or your knitting project's a quarter started. So you're great getting at the starting gate, but then things fizzle and they don't get done. Well, what if you could learn a couple tools that will help you become a strong finisher? Now, you may be listening to this when I'm recording it, which is the middle of May. We are a month and a half away from the end of the Mary Kay year. So this is a great time. Well, it's always a great time to laser focus your thoughts on becoming a strong and fantastic finisher. So grab your paper. I'm going to go over a couple key points. All right. But I want you to know becoming a strong finisher is a learned and mastered skill. If you repeat it over and over again, that skill will become habit. So anybody can learn to be a fabulous finisher. All right. So first point is mindset management. Remember, you have to keep your eye on the prize. You have to know what you want and why you want it. Ask yourself, do I want this bad enough that I would be willing to run across fire to get it? Like the Tony Robbins fire walk. So let's say your goal is to become a first-time red jacket. Do you want that so bad that you'd be willing to run across fire for it? If yes, yay, you've got a fabulous, strong why. But if no, your why might need a little work. See, once you have a strong why, you have to commit to thinking only positive thoughts or no thoughts at all. So if you think to yourself, oh, she's probably not going to join my team, or maybe she won't do anything, ask yourself, is that moving me closer to my goal? The answer would be no. So don't think that. Only think positive thoughts that we're going to move you closer to your goal. So always ask yourself, will this thought move me closer to the finish line? And if no, stop thinking it. All right. Point number 2 is emotional management. The finish of any goal is likely to trigger the amygdala, the part of your brain that deals with survival. That's totally normal. All right. Don't be surprised. In fact, you might even have negative emotions come up like fear, doubt, overwhelm, impatience, frustration, maybe even hopelessness. Those emotions are just your brain's way of tricking you into like giving up and saying, no, go back to what I do know. So those emotions are literally your brain's trick to retreat to the safety of what it knows. Remember, your brain doesn't know the difference between fact and fiction. It's whatever you tell it. So you've got to be smarter than your brain's tricks. You must soothe your mind and keep moving forward. Again, it's not uncommon to have those thoughts. Just don't buy into those thoughts. All right. Number 3 is action management. This is so important. Get very streamlined in your actions. Be efficient. Be effective, waste no time. Throw yourself 100% over the finish line. Only total commitment to your goal will put you into the miracle zone. So lastly, take advantage of the flow. Allow your action to be easy as you paddle to navigate, right? The rapids of your momentum. And not everything's going to come up roses. We all know that. But that is super, super, super important. When you are in action, don't waste time getting hung up on things. Now, if you struggle a little bit with focus or ADD or ADHD, you might think about setting aside really small blocks of time and setting a timer on your phone. So setting your timer for 10 minutes and for 10 to 15 minutes, do something very, very specific, like 15 minutes of solid booking calls, like one right after the other, or 15 minutes of texting hostesses, one right after the other, or whatever your goal is. But it's working with that laser focus. So we've got those 3 things that we just covered, which are, let me just look back at my notes really quick: mindset management, emotional management, and then action management. Now, lastly, you're going to need mind tools to help get you into the feeling of finishing. All right. You have to feel like a finisher to act like a finisher. So a great mind tool is visualization. And I will tell you, the year that I decided I wanted to be the queen of sharing, I'll just share this with you real quick. I'd never done the court of sharing. I set the goal to be the queen. I know that's like a little zealous goal, but I took a picture of the throne off the Mary Kay website, and I took the head off of the queen and I put my picture on there. This is a true story. And I put it on my desk and I cut out 24 pictures of women out of catalogs and magazines that looked like they had $1 million smile. I guess some of them were movie stars. I'm not a star watcher, so I didn't know who these people were. I just love their confident smile. And I would, every night when I went to bed, seriously, on a stack of Bibles, every night when I went to bed, I would visualize them saying, and now for the top 3 in the court of sharing, met with their national on stage in alphabetical order. And I could hear them say, Diane Covington from the Janice Trude area. And I literally heard that every night in bed when I went to sleep. That was my default go to bed thought. And then as soon as my alarm went off, my brain would go to that. And now for the top 3 in the court of sharing, met with their national on stage in alphabetical order, Diane Covington from the Janice Trude area. I could hear that every single morning and every single night. Visualization was so important. And you know, when I got backstage and they said, sit over here, you're in the top 3, my heart just leapt. I couldn't even believe it. I couldn't find anybody to share my news. My sister already knew, but I didn't. And when they called me out on stage, in my voice, I always heard this one particular VP. He's not there anymore. His name is Gary Jenks, but he had a very distinct voice. And his voice was the voice I heard every morning and every night when I went to bed visualizing. And do you know, that night on awards night, when they announced who the top 3 were, it was Gary Jenks. And he said, with the top, we would like to now introduce the top 3 in the court of sharing in alphabetical order. Diane Covington from the Janice Trude area. And I walked on the stages, and every little hair follicle on my body stood up on end, because it was the exact thing I've been listening to and telling myself for the last 6 months. Halfway through the year, I started doing this every morning, every night. So I'm going to ask you to do a quick visualization with me. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to take a big, huge, deep breath in and exhale. I want you to imagine you're an incredible athlete. You're a premier runner. You've been on this race of your life, and it's been a long one, filled with ups and downs, but racing, you're now near the end. You hear the bell, which signals your last lap. And as you come around that corner, you can now see the finish line. All you hear is the sound of your feet hitting the ground. And you can see in the distance the finish line. All of a sudden you gain this extra burst of energy. You don't know where it comes from, but this extra adrenaline rush, and you feel your arms, and your arms are just giving you incredible momentum and pushing you forward. And as you see, the finish line is coming closer and closer and closer. And you look at the finish line as it's getting closer, and you notice that the clock, it's almost like it's frozen. It's stopped. You have plenty of time to finish. You're going to get there. You're going to absolutely cross. And it seems like the finish line is now within your reach, and you puff your chest out and you lean forward and you cross that finish line. And you've got so much energy and so much adrenaline that you round the next corner as you take your victory lap, and you can hear the crowd going crazy as they cheer you on for your victory. That's exactly what it can be like for every goal that you set. So I hope you found this helpful. These are some great tools to learn how to be a fantastic finisher. All right, you guys, I can see you crossing your finish line. Have a great day.